From Lithuania to Oxford, building my lifestyle through fitness and my passion and my love for sports led me to having my own personal training studio, which I opened in October. That's roughly 8 months from now. And my accent probably gives it away that I'm not a British person. I don't have British accent. And yeah, like how did I end up building this life through fitness? That's an interesting question. But first, why did I came to UK? Well, my current girlfriend was kind enough to invite me. I'm saying my current girlfriend because I was single at the time before I came to UK. And I am so blonde that it didn't click that the main reason why she's probably inviting me that she has a bit of a crush on me. So we'll leave that for a little bit later. But for me, like when I was moving to UK, it was a massive step out of my. But for me, when I took a step to move to UK, it was a massive step out of my comfort zone because I was living with my mom at 21 years old. I was living with my mom and I was earning quite a decent salary in Lithuania at that point. It was 700 euros and roughly 7 to 800 euros, and that was a very decent salary considering the fact that I don't really need to pay rent and some of the food that I really didn't need to buy, so I could spend my money on whatever I want. So going to UK and living by myself on myself for my own ambitions and for my own lifestyle was a massive step out of my comfort zone. But speaking with Neringa, who's my partner, I asked her if there's a guaranteed job and if I could live. That's keep in mind that's a lady that I haven't really engaged much in real life. We were just talking a lot on Facebook, and my goal and ambition to come to UK was to earn myself enough money so I can buy a BMW 5 Series. Now, I can't remember the exact model, but it was around 2005 plate that they started looking quite nice. And I really wanted that BMW because one of my friends had, and I thought I'll come to UK, I will earn myself 10K or whatever, I'll save myself some money and I'll buy myself the car that I want so I can live a better life in Lithuania. But a decade later, actually 11 years later, I'm still driving BMW 4 Series, so I cannot go back. It's a bit of a shame, but one day I'll buy that BMW 5 Series. But jokes aside, what happened is as I moved into UK, I absolutely loved the culture because Lithuanian culture, I mean, we are quite rude as people, I would say, and sometimes we're too blunt and too honest. While in Britain, everyone is nice, everyone is welcoming, and the customer service is like very nice. It doesn't necessarily mean that this is a very good thing, but I felt like there is a plenty of opportunities within the country like this where people are more welcoming and they're very accepting. And I was right because there is a lot more opportunities within a year or so. I managed to get promoted to a team leader position across the street in a mini plant working in a logistics company. And after that, I changed the job and I found another job. So you can kind of really like you're very flexible in UK. There's so many opportunities if you're willing to put in the work. Look, let's look here. I mean, I literally drove forklift not even 10 years ago. To finish my personal training courses, I gone back to Mini, and I've been driving forklift like 6 years ago before I started the career in personal training. And now from 2020 till 2025, we're sitting 2024, October, we're sitting in my personal training studio. So there is plenty of opportunities in UK because we never had money. I came to UK having £600, which I had to pay £400 for the rent deposit, and then as I was earning some money in in Rudolph, I was paying the rent from week to week basis until I could save enough, and I can pay a month's rent to my landlord. So It's not that I came in rich. It's not that I came in having a lot. I literally changed the country with having 600 pounds in my bank account and potential job, which I wasn't sure about. And look, my English wasn't even as good as now. It was quite decent, but I could understand what people are speaking. And I eventually, well, I couldn't form the sentences very well. So eventually I gone through that barrier and started speaking a little bit better. So think about it. Someone with 600 euros, sorry, 600 pounds comes to another country, starts working as a forklift driver, and eventually through the pure ambition for sports can go into personal training and as a career completely change the career and change their lifestyle and actually open a personal training studio. So I think UK is an absolutely amazing country, at least for me. I know not everyone thinks that way, but it is an amazing country for me, and I hope it will be amazing country for British people and some more immigrants who will come in, as long as they're as ambitious as me or willing to work hard. Because I don't think, well, I'll leave my personal opinion on what kind of immigrants countries should welcome for the next video. And like I said before, the country felt really welcoming to me, and I felt like I will be able to achieve a lot because I managed to get promoted to a team leader position, leaving all my life and my friends behind in Lithuania. But none of that matters. Let's actually get to the point where I decided to get into fitness. So I worked in a research and development company which was working on amazing things, autonomous racing cars, electric autonomous racing cars. Sounds interesting, doesn't it? And then they were working on hybrid trucks. And I was responsible for their stores. The job was amazing, actually. We used to get fed at work. Then it was quite relaxed environment, and it was an amazing place to work. But that made me realize that sometimes you used to get in conflict with managers, and it was mostly due to things that I can't control. And that used to really annoy me. So I cannot control when the suppliers are delivering goods. And I hear some weird sounds. I hope it's not going to pick up on microphone. But I was getting pissed off of the things that I cannot control, and I was getting told off for that, which is extremely annoying for me because I don't mind getting told off as long as I can change something or it's within my control. So that got me to the point where I was thinking, it's like, okay, what did I really enjoy in life? And then going through young age, I was remember I spent days, like well, days, like full days playing basketball. Then in school, I played every sport that school had to offer. Uh, Volleyball, table tennis, basketball, with its quite a lot of sports. I did Greek Roman wrestling, and then I was like, oh, I did the Muay Thai in UK. Now I enjoy mountain biking. Like I started thinking like I always enjoyed sports, and at that point, also started reading CrossFit Level 1 course, which I haven't done, but because it was available, I was just so curious about fitness and CrossFit at that point that I started reading through the course, and the idea came into my mind like, oh, there is a personal training as career. There is guys in CrossFit gyms coaching other people. I mean, I could probably do that. So I started looking into personal training courses, and it didn't took long until I signed up for one. And as I signed up for the course, I obviously completed it. Then a few years later, I decided to pursue career in fitness. So as I started as a personal trainer, I think I mentioned that before in other videos. 6 weeks into it, the lockdown hit. So I thought that's it. My dream career is ruined because we don't know how long COVID will take. So there was a little bit of issues from that sense, but eventually one of my colleagues saved my job because I was about to get sacked because I was just like the most recent employee of the company of Nuffield Health, and they just had to do some layoffs. That's normal thing. Company were probably struggling financially in some aspects, and there was only so many kind of months or weeks that they can keep paying everyone. So you want to prioritize the stuff that has been working for a long time. But then my colleague Joe stepped in and he was like, I'm going fully self employed. I don't want to be redeployed to a hospital for an indefinite amount of time because at the time I was working in the hospital, we got redeployed. So yeah, Joe basically saved my job. And eventually, as the lockdowns eased, some personal trainers in the bigger Nuffield Health gym left, and it was an easy interval transfer, and I was back on to personal training career, which was absolutely amazing. So the whole idea is that I had a very deep passion and desire to stay active, to do sports, and eventually I realized that I want to help other people to get fit because UK has a massive problem of people being unfit. 30% of population is overweight and another 30% of population is obese, which brings us to 60% of the whole UK population being overweight. So I felt like a deep need to actually get into fitness. Some was selfish reasons because I can hang out in the gym and do some training, which eventually turned out not to be true. Just work in the gym, help people, clean, whatever. But at the end of the day, by actually me looking for a change and improvements in my life, I ended up here where I'm recording this video talking how I changed my life through fitness. And I opened my studio, which is absolutely amazing. However, I'm still not driving that BMW 5 Series, which hopefully will happen one day. So, if you found this video inspirational and if you've been struggling with self doubt, I have also created a video on self doubt. So, go and watch it. I'll tag it here. And let me know down in the comments if you're also an immigrant and you have completely changed your life, because I would love to hear that story. Because for me, it was building up from the ground up, from having nothing to eventually having this gym, and we will see where this will take me. See you in the next one.